Revealed Illuminati's downfall, 400 million suspects involved with committing crimes of torture, war crimes, crime to the White House they committed with FBI involved under the Wi-Fi name FBI2 under Charlotte Wi-Fi. May 4th, 2017, where not only an ex-CIA worker stated the New World War would be over, a cyber terrorist attack which occurred on May 4th, 2017 at 10:04 p.m. from Charlotte Wi-Fi as I was writing a digital letter to www.whitehouse.gov, where a 5-page virus and copyright crimes were committed, with FBI and LAPD both involved on an unofficial operation called Organized Gang Stalkings, which states law enforcement involved with crimes, unofficial operations, computer hacking, phone hacking, torture. Not only crimes in the trillions of dollars by computers, phones, hacking 911, FBI, the Pentagon, U.S. Pentagon hacked. On the same day, a major crime officer telling me with her partner that I threatened the White House, which I never did, Mrs. Placienda. Not only did she state she would help me, which my mom confirmed on an earlier YouTube video, but I do trust her as she seems a great officer and sergeant of the Major Crimes LAPD Bureau. And I see she's a good person. I know she's good at heart. So I trust in her. I do want to state that this not only reveals the DWP FEMA fraud, disaster fraud by the phone of a DWP worker with 100 police officers' names, pretending to be everybody in government agencies that you can think of, from CIA, Pentagon workers, Homeland Security, and Secret Servicemen. But not before, after the crime, they impersonated a United States Secret Serviceman on the date of 9/16/2017, violating HIPAA with a medical provider there. But committing torture for 4 years to me, Mark Shallot, I declare this a true statement, as FCC is also a party involved in the crimes, with 50,000 American companies funding terrorism in the United States, but collecting money off of terrorists killing U.S. soldiers. Disrespecting our veterans is one thing they've been doing too lately, which I do not respect, and a full action will be given upon them. So let's go ahead and give you the real. This is a DWP phone containing the information and the FCC ring that was let out for the flash flood, but cutting off the water hose outside of this very window. On the same day, I believe the FBI agent jumped out of the FedEx vehicle as FedEx is involved in committing crimes with UPS, Post Office Service, and other government agencies. As they stated, I went against the government. I didn't. I went against 6 police stations for its involvement for child pornography distribution, accepting illegal money of it. The same 6 police stations on a reality show showing a torture of me on Spectrum, but with Spectrum stealing my phone number for 3 years, admitting to it, hiding it under my brother's name, but not before LAPD paid him to commit medical fraud off a 2-year jail sentence. I want to state those officers are outside this parking lot right now. Look straight ahead. That's a suspect female is involved in the crimes as well. As Waste Management's involved with funding terrorism. As you see, the only opening in that tree, there is a LAPD unit. And if you look to the right, you'll see more. Like right there, you see a couple huddled up. Misusing city funds in the billions of dollars. Using helicopters as the crimes are committed through radio and radar frequency crimes. And as FBI2 was a Wi-Fi name, it went to FBI Radar 1. I want to state these officers not only came in my home every time I left it, planted crimes into the home. We're going to show you how they left their wallet behind, but not before kicking in my door, breaking in my windows, and much more. Their Internal Affairs Bureau, I do want to state, is involved with 2 of the attempted murders, as one of the killers stated that Internal Affairs sent him, as it was not only like the second one at a bus stop, but under video camera surveillance, satellite, the first one, and the other one's under video. These suspects are not only threatening elder people, but cracking open the head of my mom's husband, having somebody come here, sit on the stairs, as they sent somebody with a gun in my house the day before that. These are officers sending people with guns to people's houses. But it's a law enforcement breaching of terrorism and them working with the United Kingdom and FBI using LAPD as hitmen. Spectrum shows on Spectrum.net, which changes channels frequently, of the torture show of me, but being electrocuted so bad in my bed. I tasted battery acid, but breaking a brand new bed. As you can see, torture in the home. Cameras in the wall, and why it says heater and paint behind the wallet they left, which is a LAPD board meeting calendar, which you get to view now and see for yourself with your own eyes. So enjoy the show while I max out these pussies. That's the Secret Service impersonation on court documents, which is the best in the West. Please, please, please. I want to state Jenkins is a new involved funding terrorism company as they latched on to this LG phone to steal it, but to commit a hate crime torture. If they're not off of it in a half an hour, we're headed to Van Nuys Police Department to have them arrested for terrorism charges and child pornography as well. So I suggest they put back everything how it was on this phone, including the copyright they committed to LG, but dating the system down to 2015, Jenkins and Spectrum as a bootloader. And we're going to show you the other Jenkins copyrighted and Spectrum copyrighted 15 phones with the LAPD unit involved with identity theft outside and connected to the C1V radio as a user. But who even makes me pay their bill but for committing trillions of dollars in crimes, including a $6.5 million bank fraud last week I reported with 911. And I believe the ID for the incident report was 6162. Now, may we get on with the show? Yes, we shall. But it's reality show is the only problem. From what I know, that guy's a scam artist. Or a LAPD desk duty officer. Just like the rest of them who failed to report the crimes. And who you get to see now failed to report a crime. But who changed all Secret Service phone numbers, phone lines, and the rest. As you'll see now, we're going to be contacting the FBI and everybody else. But as FBI fails to report a torture, as they're involved with torturing a human being and committing espionage working with the United Kingdom, and that's the truth, and the truth be told. Let's go ahead and get you that board meeting calendar, and we'll get to the rest. And that's called annihilation for the rests. And we'll do the 15 phones. We'll show how LG's involved in Tesla for funding terrorism and the proven component as it had the crimes to the water system and the DWP phone to prove it all. The motherboard, but containing the chip all my home phones contain, as they're not real home phones, but AT&T for funding terrorism as well, with the chip, that serial number with the camera, which meant that AT&T had knowledge of a crime going to happen in the White House. Instead of reporting it, they did what? Put a camera on the thermopatch, which doesn't belong, on an enclosed phone of an AT&T home phone, and this is in the middle of a thermopatch. Look at that diamond in there. Yes, it is a real diamond. And they connect to royalty as well. I got them pretty good, huh? I colored it gold to protect it. And as you see, it's a G-Code. It is an original G-Code chip. I do want to state that. And I'll show you why it's original G-Code chip and proves all the crimes of the 100 police officers' names connected to walkie-talkie codes, but who are involved in pretending to be every government agency you could think about. Now we're going to go ahead and show you what the G-Code means. And the revealance of the G-Code, which is not only so secretive and so crazy, it's unbelievable. It's a beautiful piece. I do want to state that my most prized possession of the moment. That and the AT&T thermopatch, you get to see it as well. And you can see it on my Instagram website, Mark.Shallot.902 and Instagram.com. Enjoy the show. You know how I do it. Yeah, you know, I stay sucker free, that's number one. Because these suckers will try to keep you on a leash. But committing crimes to me is a big mistake in their lives. I don't think they want to do it again because I'll ruin their lives worse than it is now. And that'll be a bigger mistake. Yeah, you don't want to mess with me. I'm not the guy to mess with. You want to pick a fight with somebody that's not going to blow you out the water like I blew them out the water. Like, this is all I really need to prove everything on them. This says it all. It's, it's them going, see you later, assholes. Go ahead, check that out. From top to bottom. Yeah, not only stealing my power for 4 years, but still doing it. Pretty big mistake, huh? Leave this on my desk before cutting all the power and messing with the wires, which now the charging is connected to the sinks, and when it's turned on, it overheats the plugs and kills my battery instantly. Like this one's gonna die any second, most likely, probably another couple minutes. Those are cameras. Don't worry about those. They put a camera on everything from toothpicks and up except Q-tips. They do not have them on the Q-tips. I have not seen them yet. I'm waiting for that day. Now, what was said behind this? Oh, yeah! Put your hands in the air! What, my statement was put first when I found it. I put something. I can't remember what I put. I got so much evidence, people, we're going to be showing you today. I got boxes and boxes, and we even have an Xbox that we use to commit the crime, but could mean Microsoft could be in a situation due to having one of their Xboxes or all their Xboxes involved with terrorism and working with the United Kingdom on espionage charges for Microsoft might be a company forfeited like Energizer and many other companies in the United States. But they tried killing me 9 times because it's 400 million people now convicted of war crimes by me and will be convicted by a court because they did commit that war crime. And that's torture after the fact of a major May 4, 2017 cyber terrorist attack, and then impersonating Secret Service agents, one time on court documents, as you just saw, and then the rest, stealing evidence, but Spectrum connected to the Wi-Fi and hacking it onto the light LED poles, data boxes, and then having the numbers and addresses changed to Secret Service to steal evidence, to continue to show torture show that they change channels on every day. But profiting, copywriting off my name, but now we'll lose their company. You see it says heater? It said paint on top. Maybe you can see some of it, or we can fold it back to show it to you, because I need that. Because we're going to show you what's behind the paint, and why it said paint. And it does, we're going to be able to reveal it, thank God. That's good information. Oh yeah. Oh, it brings black helicopters, LAPD helicopters, and everybody else and their mothers to the scene. Steady mugging me. But I live my life major. I love it. Yeah. They all hate me. They got paid to hate me and never knew me was their only problem. And that's where they messed up even bigger, because they never knew me and got paid by the FTC or FSC. Yeah. Hey, you hear that? And that's exactly why LAPD paid her to commit medical fraud and identity theft, as she has my phone number stolen to her phone, as a SIM card swap was sent to Major Crime Sergeant on the day of the police shootings in LA, where her phone was broken but sent to her phone. And we will be showing evidence of the SIM card swap, this LAPD unit, C1V radio, who's connected to the user to all my phones, but commits radio frequency crimes and has 3 radio stations blocking me from contacting Secret Service and Homeland Security. And copywriting their Google Maps, including LAPD officers copywriting their Google Maps at their LAPD headquarters, which is a major crime. Because they're committing it against their own people. But disrespecting their cybercrime sergeant, as he's Jewish, he has to watch a Jewish man be tortured. But them talking about brotherhood, but disrespecting one wearing their badge, I say they're hypocrites. In fact, bullshit liars and terrorists working with United Kingdom. Not all of them, as I said, some. As I ran into a couple good ones, thank God, that I believe in them. You know, we're going to see how their boss feels soon. But I'm sure he's probably understanding that it's a pretty cut and clear case now, that these guys are going to hit the bricks on this shit. You might as well not take down everybody, because there's no point to. Because then that means more lawsuits and more jail for everybody. Because the crimes were committed. And I'm a U.S. citizen, which is even better. So what they do is we're going to predict fire truck 293 or LAPD will come on scene to attempt a kidnap murder. We're going to go ahead and shut this down. I'm sure professionals will take a detector test on me to prove that the paint was written there. But we're going to show you what's behind the paint and the heater in a second. Bole bole, bole bole, bole bole. Oh yeah, what does that look like? Well, that's why it says paint and heater. That's how they watch me through Spectrum.net, through an octagon setting, but tortured by electrocutions, where I tasted battery acid the next morning, but torturing me by electrocutions 4 years! Almost every day. Do you know what that feels like? Tasting battery acid the next morning and for the next several days after, but being fried by radiation poisoning, by FCC failing to report a city code violation instead, and that's a suspect too, exiting. She is a suspect, I do want to state that. Because I know she is. And it's 100% fact. See their lights blaring on and off? That's for you, Sergeant Placencia and Major Crime Sergeant Chavez. Don't forget to report them for the 300 medical frauds, 50 LA healthcare frauded letters, and even the Inspector General frauded letters they wrote. And with the same neo-Nazi post on top stamp, which was later changed after I revealed them, as the regular LA healthcare has no knowledge of these letters. See their lights flashing on and off? Now they said they got U.S. judges paid off on terrorism. We're going to find out which ones are paid off because I'm going to distribute enough evidence to shut them down guaranteed. And we're going to see which judges they got paid off that are going to go to jail. We'll see about that one.